into the class Gmail, and then we will download Backup and Sync to sync the Google Drive to our desktop computer. First, switch to your class Gmail, and our class Gmail is this right here. Clicking on that, I will move on to the drive where all the files will be saved. If you go through our Google Drive here, you have all the class names, you have the Navisworks files and the Revit files, and we're gonna go to the Revit files. And this is where all of our things are saved. Now that you have the Google Drive and have a Gmail, now we can go ahead and use the Backup and Sync to connect this Google Drive to our desktop computer. And how you do that is you open a new Google window and you type up Google Backup and Sync, and it should come up here. Since I already have mine on my computer, I'm just gonna show you where to download it. So you'll be downloading from here. When you click here, download, agree. So the same email that you use to sign into your Gmail, use that same email to sign in through your computer, and it will give you access through it on your desktop computer. New file. After you downloaded the Backup and Sync to your computer, we're gonna start by clicking New, Architecture Template. So what we'll be doing here, we'll show how to collaborate. So I'm gonna do a simple shape here just to show the process of how to collaborate your work by saving it as a central and creating a local file. First, go to Collaborate, Work Set. Okay. And now we're going to Save As, Project. We're going to find our class Google Drive by going to Desktop, and it should be located right here called Google Drive. And then we're going to go to our test folder that I've created. We're gonna name it the class name, which is 347. Then you're gonna have the discipline, the name, the central, the date, and your name here. I'm gonna put a 1 by this since I've already went through this already. Options. We're gonna, instead of 20, we're gonna change it to 3 because you don't need that much backups. Okay. Save. Now you have your central. Let's create the local. You're going to close out of this. Open. You're going to find the file underneath the folder where you have placed it. Once you click on it, it's going to give you option here, and we're going to click Create New Local. Open. Now I've actually opened up the file that my classmates and I have been working on. This is the Walnut Hill Water Authority in Danville, Alabama. This was given to us by an architecture firm. We initially split this floor plan into 4 sections here. So one of the sections was through here and the other one was through here. This was section A, section B, section C, and section D. I had section B, which composed of the break room, mechanical room, office, the hallway, and these rooms located on this end over here. One of the things that we had to do when we started is to link all of our floor plans together. And how we did that, we went to manage link, and here you can see all my classmates' name. To add a link, all you have to do is add it, bring it up from the drive on the computer. Here, if we need to reload the link, all we do is we click on whoever link we want to reload into this file. And simply click on reload, and it's currently loading. If you also want to remove the file, you can click on the individual file and it will remove it for you. So to remove a file, you just click on whichever file you want to remove and remove it here. Okay. So after bringing all the plans in, let me show you what the 3D model look like all together. This is what the 3D model look like. This is my portion here. One of the first things that we did is we added the foundation, and we all decided to go with the step foundation. To create a foundation wall, you just have to go to architecture, wall, and choose on the foundation concrete wall here. If you want to make any changes, make sure to duplicate the generic wall and make changes as necessary. To add the footing to it, to the foundation wall, go to structure and simply add the footing here. We also have two type of footing. We have 18 by 6 inches, and we have a 24 by 6 inches. Going a little bit further into the wall construction. So this wall, we have it as a metal stud structure with a brick finish, an air opening, and a gypsum wall board finish on the interior. We also had a parapet wall located on the top, and we were able to do that by using sweeps. We uploaded the parapet family from Revit, and we used a 14-inch, and these different tabs here allow you to make different changes as necessary. Okay. We also used the 36 by 84 flush door all over the building, but for the exception of the double door, which is for the entrance. And we also use the 48 by 60 casemate double all over the building as well. Some of the views that I have of my room, as you can see here, this is a view into the break room. This is another view. You can see the outlets and the switch that was placed in the room and the fixtures above. Another view here showing the hallway. One of the things that I had to learn during this process is to learn how to use the copy monitor tool. To use the copy monitor tool, go to collaborate. Go to collaborate, and after you go to collaborate, copy monitor, select link. If I want to use something for my classmates that I don't have, a family that I may need for my classmates, all I have to do is select their link. For example, let's say if I need a switch, copy, and I will click on their switch, and it's now loading into my Revit family files, and now I have access to that type of switch here. I was able to use this tool to use families that was missing from my Revit folder. So after we did the walls and the foundation, we went into the structure. I'm going to the ceiling plan showing the different structure that we used. We used a LVL, a 4 by 14 LVL, and a 2 by 10 dimension lumber. We were able to create the structure by simply going to structure, beam, save project here. As it load, so once you click structure, beam, you can choose the material here, which I already have here, dimension lumber, and you can do it as you please. Let me go in the section to show what the structure looked like. So this is what the structure looked like here, and we also did a grid to make sure that they were equally spaced out and divided, as you can see here. After we were done with the structure, we moved on to different architectural templates. My classmates worked in the plumbing and electrical template, while me and my partner, we worked on the mechanical template. Looking at this here are the ducts supplying air and taking air out of each room. The blue, which is the supplier, is the AC, which brings air into each room. The pink is the return. It takes the air out of the room, purify it with the air from outside, and bring it back in as AC. To create a duct, you simply have to go to Systems, Ducts, and create it. You have the option of turning it to a supply or return here. You also have the option of using different type of ducts. For this project, we use a rectangular duct with an elbow to make sure that it can connect easily. We also have this one as an 8-inch duct where you can change the side to make it bigger. We also have the elevation at 11 and 3 inches because we don't want the ducts to clash to each other. So we made the return, the supply taller than the return. So simply here, what you gotta do is draw it based on the room that you need to go. And what it creates here is this elbow that helps you connect the ducts together. To add a vent, you simply need to click on the air terminal. If you want it to be a supply, change it to the supply 24 by 24, 12 by 12 connection here, and simply click at the end to connect together. If it's black, then that means it's not connected, but if it's blue, it is connected to the ducts. Same thing with the return. Simply just gotta click the duct and change from supply to return here, and do the same thing here, and add the vents accordingly. Moving on to the mechanical system itself, we have the ducts. They get smaller as they go deeper into the floor plan to compact the air even more, because the further it goes, the less air it can provide. So in order to make sure that it gives the same amount of air in each room, we compact it as it goes further down. We also used a round duct to extend into the rooms because it's more flexible and it can stretch. Because it's more flexible, we also use the flex ducts as well in order to maneuver into tight spaces easily. Let's go into 3D so you could see a closer look of what that looked like. In here, see the different components of how it's like connecting like a tree and how the vents match up to the sea. We are on Naviswork. The purpose of Naviswork is mainly 3 items: to detect clash, to do the timeline of the construction, and to take the quantity of the material that we will be using here. So how I got this in, I opened up my Revit file and it will sync to the Revit file. I opened up my Revit file first and brought it in here, and then I add my teammates file by clicking append here, and I will have access to the Google Drive. So let's go to this Google Drive right here under desktop, and then you go to Revit files. Make sure to change the file type to Revit, and that's where I can select and first I open up my file, and then I add everyone else's file to it to create the whole model as it would look on Revit. on Naviswork, we're going to first detect clashes. Clashes are important to detect on Naviswork because it helps you see the mistakes before this building is actually built. So to add tests, we can simply, let's say, click on add test here. You will see the different files that we have uploaded. This is everyone's files. And what you need to do is you need to take one file and compare it to another file to make the, to do a test. For example, we're gonna do mechanical versus electrical here. And then we're gonna click down here, run test. So it says that there is 7 new tests, and also change the name to mechanical okay, that should be fine. So I said that it says that there is 7 new clashes. Like you can see, there are some clashes that we do want, and there are some clashes like we don't want. For example, clash number 1 here, which is one of the ducks running into the light, that is something that we do not want. So what you will do is you would go back to Revit, you'll have Revit open up, go back to Revit, fix it, and then refresh it again, so it could be new here. And after you've done that, you can simply click resolve. And then we can go to the other clash. This is another clash that we do not want. So you will go back and do the same procedure over and over again. And these are other clashes. This is a clash that that's not necessarily a clash. So we're going to do approve. So now here it will tell you who have approved the file, or you can also assign this to a certain person by clicking assign and putting their name in, and they will be assigned to do it. And it will tell you up here how many have been resolved, how many have been approved, and how many new clashes that you still have. So after detecting the clash, we'll move on to Timeliner. Timeliner helps schedule the different components of the construction. So it's break it into different phases, I would say. First, we have to select and group items. And how we select and group items, there's 2 ways. You can either select the item from the selection tree or select it from the physical model. The benefits of doing from the selection tree allow you to pick that specific item. When compared to picking it from here, you can simply click on something that you do not want to select. So going into it, we're going to select all the exterior walls. So we're gonna go to my model first. We're going to level 1, and then we're going to click on walls. We're gonna hold down Control, click on wall. We're gonna go to my teammates and click on their walls as well. Level 1. Make sure to keep your hand on Control, or else it will select the whole model instead. Level 1, walls. Same thing down here. Level 1. No, not that. Level 1, walls. Walls. And then going to Nino's. Level 1, walls. So now we've selected all the exterior walls, and we're ready to group this as a component. So I'm gonna go to save selection, and now I will call it new walls. And that's how you group items for the Timeliner. After grouping and selecting your items, you're gonna add it as a new task. You're gonna do that by clicking on Timeliner, and this box should pop up. Click on task, add new task. And what I usually do, I usually drag the task from my group into where it belongs here. So we're gonna drag new walls, and we're gonna place it here. You can also change the name here by clicking and renaming it. So after you add all your grouping components, what you're going to do is you're going to give each of them a date of construction. For example, the foundation, I put it for 5.3 to 5.24. And I changed this according to how long it might take to actually construct these walls here all together. And in total, I believe it took up 4 months. But that's just for the practice of learning how to use the schedule. Now we're going to look at the video that this create. So this select everything. And now we're going to see the construction video here, which I will show here. Now we're going to move to the quantification. The importance of the quantification is to get the quantity of the materials that you will be needing. For example, to get started, let's click quantification, and it will give you some options here to click. What Navisworks does, it gives you 48 different WSB here. And we're going to, because we already have all of our things grouped, we're going to click, for example, on Windows, and it's going to select all the windows on the project for me. And we're going to put that under the categories, one of the categories that we have here. And for this one, we're going to put it under the opening category because essentially windows are openings. And then we're going to click on model take off. Okay, so now it have selected, you have took all the windows and put it under openings here. Same thing for if you're doing the foundation, because the foundation is concrete, you're going to select foundation and then go to concrete and add it and take off. One of the things that is good about Navisworks and the quantification area is that you can also show what you have take off. And you can also hide the take off, so you can know what else you have to take off of. Another thing that we had to do is during this process is to change the colors because it was very vibrant. So I'm going to show you quickly how to override the colors on Navisworks. For example, let's change the colors of these. Let's say we want to change the color of the roof. So right click, override item. We made it transparent so we can see the structure that's beneath, but you can also click on color and make it a specific color. So I decided to make it white and then make it transparent so I can see underneath. And after you quantify all your components, all the components that you want to quantify, it will give you the option of, it will show you the table here and what you have quantified here. And you can also now export this onto an Excel sheet. So now you're gonna click over here and you're gonna click export quantities to Excel. And after I quantify and export the Excel sheet, I come here and you can see the different foundation and they give you the amount that you need or the amount that you have. And you can simplify this by editing the Excel sheet. But this is where we'll stop for this video. And thank you for watching. Thank you to all my classmates and my professor who have taught us for this semester.